All right, so first of all, before we get into making any cards, let's talk about waxes. So the wax that we're using for, or wax paste that we're using for this class is Inka Gold. It comes in tons of different colors. This is more of my large collection. But I've narrowed this class down to 9 paste colors. So we're not going to be using every single one of them. I've narrowed it down to a smaller selection. The thing that I like about Inka Gold is it is a wax paste, but it's water soluble. So there's some water techniques that we can do with it. If by chance you choose to do this class with a different type of wax, it'll work for most techniques, but unless you have a water soluble wax, it won't work for some of the ones where we're using water. If there is a different brand that is water soluble, I haven't heard of it yet, but that's one of the things that I like about this one. The one thing though, it's got some natural ingredients in it that sometimes mean it may start to mold. If that happens, just take a wet cloth or a baby wipe and you just wipe it right off. It's usually only on the surface. I've never had it go into the paste, and then your paste is good as new. There's a tiny little bit right there. The other thing is because it is water soluble, sometimes it will dry up, and this one is one that has dried up. So the way to get it back, it's not lost, you don't throw it away, is you can break it up with a skewer, put some water on it, and then let that water absorb. And then go back to it, check it, put some more water on it, let it absorb. So it takes a little bit of patience, but you can get it back. I hadn't played with my Inka Golds for a long time, so mine were quite dry, and that's all I did was fine. Is I broke some of the ones that were really dehydrated up and sprayed them with water. The water just absorbs right in it, and then you can get them back. You're not going to get them to the the creamiest consistency that you got them with, but you'll get them so that they're good for using for different card making techniques. The other thing is the tools that we're using is our fingers. We're going to be using our fingers to wipe them around other than when we use the water techniques. And I typically will choose a different finger for each color so that I don't contaminate them. Most of the times, even if you do happen to get, say, a bit of pink onto the turquoise, you can just use a wet wipe or whatever to clean it up, so you're not ruining it if you do happen to get some colors into a different container. But it's more getting it on the card. If I have different colors on one hand, then I'm not going to be getting the exact color that I want in the area that I want. But that is what we're going to use for this particular class. Like I said, if you have a paste that is not water soluble, it'll work for most of the techniques that we're doing, but you will have an issue with some of the water ones. So with that being said, let's move on to our first card. We'll see you in the next video.